stock market is a double-edged sword. At one place, it can help you to earn consistent returns over a long period of time. However, at the other place, if you don't apply proper knowledge, it will just blow up your account. Now, in a world full of noises, it becomes very difficult, to find an actual place where you can find a structured content right from the basic level all the way to advanced level regarding the share market knowledge. And this Q&A session is an initiative by LearnUp where we try to solve your various questions and your queries that you ask us in the comment section below. So next time you don't commit that same mistake again. So guys, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. But before starting with our very first question, guys, here is our standard disclaimer. Please do not consider any of our statement as any advice or recommendation because LearnUp solely exists for education purpose. So let's get started with our very first question. Ankan asks us, is long-term investors should keep stop loss in their investment? When is the correct time for anyone to bail out from a particular stock bought for long-term investment? Okay, so Ankan, be it any type of investment, you should have a proper exit strategy. Like in case of trading, your stop loss can be price based, like 20% of your buying price, 10% of your buying price. While in case of investing, it can be a fundamental based. Well, what exactly does that mean? It means changing of the fundamentals of the company. Now, of course, you are not required to review your portfolio on a daily basis or on a monthly basis, but maybe half yearly or in every quarter, you can have a review of your portfolio on a fundamental basis. Fundamentally means that change in the management or the change in the top line of the business, change in the net profit of the company, or the company was involved in some kinds of frauds or some legal action has been taken against the company. Such kind of fundamental events you should keep eye on. While on the other side, if you have an investing strategy, your stop loss also can be based on price basis. Like one of the strategies that was taught on LearnUp is PPP investment strategy. In that strategy, the stop loss for long-term investment is approx around 200 DMA. So yes, you can have both the fundamental based stop loss as well as price based stop loss. Moving on to our next question by Arman. The promoter of my company is constantly selling their stake. It's a small cap company. How can I get the information about why they are doing so? Well, Arman, to be honest, it's a two red flag signal because first of all, your company is a small cap company. Small cap companies by their nature are risky because you might face liquidity issues or the fundamentals of the company might change in a very short period of time. While on the other side, you are telling that the promoter of your company is constantly selling their stake. And of course, it's not a good sign. Of course, at one point of time, they can sell their stake to dilute some portion of their holdings. However, if you are telling that they're constantly selling their stake, of course, it's not a good sign. And that's why it's a two red flag signals. Also, if you need to find any information that why they're doing so, you can check out in the various corporate filings they do with, various stock exchanges like BSE and NSE. Also, you can check out the SEBI website for the same. However, if you are not able to find any information on such action, it's totally advisable to exit that stock and invest in a fundamentally sound company. So the next question is by Mohammed. He asks us, how do Fed outcome and dividend yield affects the Indian market? Well, first of all, it's a very macroeconomic topic and there might be various reasons that why it might affect. One possible reason can be that as the Fed has kept the interest rate very, very low, so what the global investors are looking for is the investment in the emerging markets like India. Now, why India? This is so because there is a better possibility to earn a higher return as compared to developed nations. However, when the Fed will decide to increase the interest rate, it might be possible that the investors might withdraw their money from the emerging markets like India, and in that case, the stock market might fall. This is just a one possibility. However, you need to dig deeper to identify various linkages. Okay, so the next question is by Arman. He asks us, can you make a video on corporate actions? Okay, so Arman, you can check out this video on detailed corporate action and how it impacts you as an investor. So I would request you to check this video out. Moving on to our next question by Utkarsh. He asks us, why does a company split its shares like Tata Motors did? Okay, so Utkarsh, as mentioned in a previous video also, whenever a share price of the company increases, it might be possible that the liquidity in that stock might decrease because, investors perceive it as a high price stock. So just to attract retail investor participation, increase liquidity and make this stock look more affordable, the company usually chooses a path for stock split. Also, the second question you ask us, why the gold market is falling down. Okay, so Utkarsh, you can check out this video on myths on stock market where we totally discuss that how stock market is just like any other market. There will be upturns, there will be downturns, and of course, as the equity market is roaring high, just like in stock market, in gold market also there will be upturns, there will be downturns, and the market is very, very volatile. The next question is by Mahesh. He asks us, kindly explain some strategies when to sell a stock. Well, to get help on that, Mahesh, you can check out learnup.com, where we have some exclusive trading as well as investing strategies that will not only help you to buy a stock, but will have a proper strategy to exit the stock. So you can check out some of our courses on learnup.com. Link is in the description below. Moving on to our very next question by Tarun. Thanks for sharing insightful answers to our questions. Is it necessary to follow all technical market indicators to invest in stock market, and how extent that will help to keep risk low? First of all, Tarun, thank you so much. It's a very interesting question, and through the answer of this question, I need to clear a very strong myth. Now, it's not at all necessary that you are required to understand all the indicators in the stock market, because there are some 100, 200 or even plus more indicators, and you are not required to learn each and every indicator, because all such indicators just create noise. The ideal way is to stick with few indicators. Maybe you can combine a volatility indicator with a momentum indicator, a trend indicator with a momentum indicator, and that's it. The difficult part is not to understand each and every indicator. The most difficult part is that stick with an indicator and follow it consistently over a long period of time, and that will help you to earn a decent return in the stock market. So guys, moving on to our next question. Shafat asks us, I got to know that we shouldn't have more than 2 to 3 mutual funds, but what about having 2 mutual funds in different types of funds like small cap mutual fund, mid cap mutual fund, and also one ELSS fund? Is it okay or bad to do so? So it's a very interesting question, Shafat, because most of the people commit a mistake of having 2 to 3 mutual funds belonging to the same category. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to invest in 2 to 3 mutual funds catering to the same blue chip category. The ideal way can be that you can have a mutual fund belonging to a blue chip category. One mutual fund can be mid cap, another can be small cap. You don't need to have mutual funds catering to the same category. Okay, so the next question is by Rahul. Should we consider ETF as an investment or for hedging purpose? Okay, so Rahul, as far as we know, ETF is one of the best ways to have a passive exposure in your portfolio. So if you want to invest in, broader market indices like Nifty, Sensex or Nifty 100, Nifty Next 50, then ETF is one of the best ways to have a passive exposure. Also, through an ETF route, you can choose to invest in various other asset classes like gold. Also, as per the latest news, the silver ETFs are also planning to launch soon in the Indian markets. So guys, this was all about today's Q&A session. If you are really interested to learn more on trading and investing, you can check out our exclusive courses on learnup.com. Also, if you have any doubt or queries, you can ask us in the comment section below. Until then, keep supporting us, keep liking, sharing and subscribing our channel. See you in the next video.